Okay, so this kind of data set doesn't really surprise me. However, I think it's worth talking about. I was already almost done with my video making session just this evening, and shout out to Everborn, supporter of the channel. He went ahead and sent me a DM, and as I was about to leave, I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, let me see what this is about." So apparently, this is, in my opinion, probably the most interesting topic of the day. Yes, I've been fighting with the PlayStation fanboys, even basically, pointed out some of the Xbox fan base and said, hey, y'all need to basically stop this nonsense y'all are doing. But here it is. This is one that actually relates to the platform that I mainly play my games on, and one that I've been watching very carefully since I actually jumped back into the platform. So thanks Everborn for pointing out this PC Gamer article to me. It says new report says PC games are outselling console games, calling PC gaming a bright spot in a troubled industry. Now, we've said before that the concurrent users for Steam have been very interesting. They've basically almost doubled within 4 years, from around 20 something million to about 40-ish million. If you go to Steam DB and look at, say, the charts that are there that show the information. Now, concurrent player base is not the same as the user base. That's very different. But I think something is worth noting here and being tagged as such. Just wanting to go ahead and ensure that we point that out. When you zoom into the max, you see that around 2020, there was this interesting thing that happened, and there was about 20 something to 24 million around that year. And boom, all the way through 2025, Steam's concurrent user information or data has been growing to about has doubled to about 39 million, which basically cites, or at least leads us to believe, that there are way more PC gamers that are out there. This is why I've said this. My hypothesis, now my theory, why PlayStation and Xbox cannot abandon the PC industry. In fact, I say, and I dare say, that Xbox survived the Xbox One generation from 2016 through 2020 by leveraging the PC platform day one for its launches. And PlayStation inevitably is going to be coming to PC with more day one titles. No longer are we talking about whether or not they're going to do day one, because they shifted and said a while ago that just because one AAA title, which was Horizon Zero Dawn at that time in 2020, is coming to PC doesn't necessarily mean that every game will now be on PC. Get that out of here. That is no longer the case. And that's just the title. Fasten your seatbelts, guys. Earlier today, Matthew Ball, CEO of investment strategy firm Epilion, I think that's how you say it, released an early version of a presentation called the State of Video Gaming 2025. The slideshow, which incorporates data from market research firms like IDG, Newzoo, Circana, summarizes worldwide market trends in the gaming industry. I'll be honest, according to this article's author, Lincoln Carpenter, things aren't great. Well, hold on. Lincoln, things aren't great for the console market. I specifically remember back in 2018, and I got to go ahead and throw my own hat in here. All I saw was Circana's data. I don't know why. I think at that time I was making the Division content, and something was happening in the Division ecosystem with Division 1 transitioning to the Division 2. So I wanted to talk about the gaming industry. I've always wanted to talk about the gaming industry, guys. Guys, you are in my hobby space. After like 8 years of covering the Division content, 7 years, I still make Division videos. But this is it. This is what I enjoy doing. And I started talking about the gaming industry, and I started looking at data because I understood a data-centric approach. Shout out to my biology professors, my chemistry professors, my physics professors, who taught me how to basically chase down the truth via data. And it was very interesting to see Circana publish a very weird data set that just showed how PC gaming had grown in terms of its spending for hardware. And so I made my video. PlayStation needed to port Spider-Man to PC because the PC market was growing. Boom, here we are today, and this reality basically sits in our faces. Now, things aren't great according to him. Following a decade-long growth wave between 2011 and 2021, the industry's revenue growth has stalled, feeding into an atmosphere of risk aversion and stagnating investment. Again, PlayStation looks at their portfolio, single-player games 88%. Nope, we're going to shift it to 12% to 40%, sorry. Live service games used to be 12%. They've moved that to 60% now. No more, risks of making a single player game that just basically drops down a cliff. The outlook isn't entirely dire, however. While gaming industry revenue growth has plateaued over the last 3 years, Apillion's analysis says PC gaming is a bright spot of continued growth, now accounting for the majority of non-mobile content revenue. This has been coming for many years. And for people to think that this decade has basically been, this decade long, whatever, is now the encompassing of it, you wait till the next console generation is coming out and people question, what are we buying? Some people just bought $1,000 PlayStation 5 Pro that is barely a console that is an improvement in my mind, in my own opinion, because they stamped the 30th anniversary, tag to the plastic. It means nothing. If you are actually pursuing a platform for performance, then how the technology is wrapped is not your business. It is what the technology is able to deliver to you. That is your business. Aesthetics is not something that different story. According to Apillion, both the PC and console gaming are, as you may have noticed, considerably bigger concerns than they were at the turn of the 2010s. In 2024, consumers were spending almost $50 billion more on PC and console games than they were in 2011. Look at this behemoth of a chart. Boom, 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 boom. But in the beginning of 2021, console gaming growth started to slow, which is particularly clear in worldwide Xbox Series S and X and PS5 console sales. Compared to the previous console generation, the current Microsoft and Sony console lines had, after 49 months, sold nearly 7 million fewer systems. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not good because this is about sell-through and sell-in. If you guys don't understand what I mean by sell-through and sell-in, and this is PlayStation's data, they put out their data of their console sales. It's public. And you can see it, and they indicate the sell-through and the sell-in data, basically meaning these are the consoles that have reached the hands of gamers, and this is the consoles that we've put out there. And the discrepancy is over 5 million on the case of PlayStation. And I'm almost certain that you can see a similar discrepancy with Xbox, even though we don't have their own data set as well. So again, the spending, even though they've sold this, piece of hardware that's been subsidized, where's the subscription services funding coming from these 5 million consoles sitting on shelves? It's non-existent. Where are the games being bought for those accounts that could have been created with these consoles sitting on the shelves? It's non-existent. On the other hand, on PC side, for the most part, when somebody buys some of these hardware lines, they're going to be gaming with it. Thereby, you're seeing the Steam numbers pretty much move because the hardware pieces are, basically acquired on individual basis in many cases with different manufacturers across the board. PC gaming, meanwhile, has only continued to grow, while console has stagnated since 2021. Apillion says PC gaming revenue has grown 20%. Chart indicating the changes, and apparently the handheld console has now become something of a phenomenon. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch is about to get tested. Oh man. According to Apillion, attributes PC gaming's continued growth to many compounding advantages over the console ecosystem, like a more extensive release library, with greater backward compatibility. I can attest to that. Even Doug Dark, you can attest to that. He's enjoying the Arkham games. Those are some of the first games I played when I went back to PC. I played again. Well, 2 of them again. More immediate access to web browsers, social platforms, and live stream software suites, and higher top-end performance. PlayStation can ask you to come pay $700 for top-end performance on a PC. You can choose where you want to improve your performance for, in some cases, $20, $30, $50. Put a little bit of more RAM, get a little bit of more performance, swap your SSD. Maybe you do an NVMe. You have the option of an SSD, NVMe, or an SSD old school. Well, I say old school, semi-old school. Options everywhere. What's more, Apillion says PC gaming's momentum is still growing thanks to cross-releases of console exclusives. Well, I mean, that was inevitable. It was already growing before the exclusives started to come full force with, PlayStation. It was already growing at the time that Xbox decided to hitch the ride, and they made it. Starfield is on Xbox and PC, and the game freaking made it. Which is wild. Power World, only Xbox and PC. Wild. Helldivers 2, even a PlayStation game, made it on there. Everybody's making it on PC. Well, the big dogs anyways. Interesting. Advancements in portable PC devices like SteamOS And well, Roblox. Hundreds of millions of children growing up on Roblox are unlikely to ask for a $500 console to play AAA games, Apillion says. Hey, who told you? Who told you that these kids are playing their games with their friends on their phones and on their tablets and on the devices close to them? I take these surveys just as a getting to know you when my students first come into my class. Like, I ask them questions. Some of them know that I play video games. They don't know I'm a YouTuber. But then I start asking, so how many of you played, video games? At least 98%. And it's gender agnostic. Then I say, what games do you play? I'm surprised by the answers. How do you play these games? Oh, I play them on my phone with my friends. Now, yes, there are also the teenagers who just want to hang out and snap and send pictures and messages and stuff. But even they themselves would be like, yeah. The friends that I engage with on Snapchat and stuff, sometimes they ask me to play Roblox with them or play these games with them. And so I basically download the game and I engage with them. Tim Sweeney was very right when he said that these generational games that are basically community-based games are the games that are basically eating up the industry right now. As promising as Apillion's outlook is for PC gaming, it's worth noting here that it is a universal consensus on who's got the bigger market share between consoles and PC. For example, in August 2023, Newzoo reported that console games had attracted $56.1 billion in consumer spending compared to around $40 billion for PC games. Now, Newzoo, I don't think if there's data for them is actually, saying that the console gaming will generate $56 billion in 2023, how will the PC market compare? They're doing a correlation of both Xbox and PlayStation to come up with that number. Maybe it might be worth going to read it. Perhaps they have a point that they made. For an explanation of what might account for the discrepancy, we reached out to Matthew Ball for comment. IDG is typically considered a source of record sales tracking in the industry, which is why I primarily defer to their estimate, Ball told PC Gamer via email. If you look at Pelham Smithers, a private research agency / bank in the UK, which is what Financial Times usually uses and what Bloomberg uses, and actually puts through the Bloomberg terminal, they actually have PC as 50% larger than console. IDC is relatively close to IDG, but not identical. Ultimately, Ball said there's some disagreement. Ball's theory is that the market researchers might vary in their tracking of game sales in China, which he says are mostly PC at the AA, AAA level. In Apillion's analysis, Ball said he deferred to where publishers told me I should here, and then cross-referenced with a few other sources such as IDC and Bloomberg. As for PC gaming's future, Ball said he is confident in Apillion's outlining of the PC gaming markets, still intensifying growth advantages. I believe that deeply, Ball said, especially if / as Steam extends to the living room and handheld. Do whatever you want with this. Read the article. Take your conclusions to how you want it. I really am not discovering anything new here, to be honest. This was expected. The technological attraction of PC for anyone who even dreams tech is just so appealing. Many console players have snared and jeered at it, but I always say, if you haven't tried it, why knock it? And some people, they were on PC before. They said I didn't like the experience, and I'm like, I can understand. But again, there are some people who see some value in it. And where are they coming from? I strongly believe that PC is siphoning some console players. That's just my belief. We don't have any data to show it. But if the industry is stagnated, then those PC players that are coming in and growing the PC industry have to be coming from somewhere. So I think they may be coming from console, or they may be just basically sprouting up from the ground. Who knows? Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hit me up in the comment section if you have any thoughts. Peace out.